up, down, left, right, up, down.
Okay, you gave me like a countdown in real life.
Well, it's not going to be in the video. It's for me and myself and I.
Yeah.
You better not leave that in the video.
Listen.
Hey, wait, no, because the last video, I said this isn't going to be in the video.
Yeah.
And then you left it in the video.
Right. That's for posterity's sake. You know?
They don't need to be in my business like that.
This is my video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Are you arguing with me in front of my video, in front of my people?
Yes.
Damn.
They need to know that what you say is law out there, but in the home, in here, this is my house.
You know Christmas is coming up.
Are you gonna give me a puppy?
Not with that kind of attitude, I'm not. It's gonna grow up all snarky. Rude. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that skit, but it's pretty funny. My wife is scared of a lot of different kinds of animals. I am just racist towards raccoons. Of all sorts. Splice in the Happy Christmas with the raccoon.
Oh yeah, it was so cute.
I said Merry Christmas. He sent me this garbage. Listen, and every day you guys don't need to disrespect me, okay? I'm out here doing my goddamn best as an internet dad, and you tell your real father to step up and teach you what's right. I might be slightly more upset than I need to be about raccoons. But also now splicing the video of that girl getting attacked by one. This is who they really are. Anytime I see anything that confirms my bias, I hate them more. But anyways, it's about camels, what I'm saying. I don't like raccoons. My wife doesn't like camels or whales.
Or bears or horses.
Or horses, yeah.
Or cows.
Right, ostriches. You do not
I don't
like ostriches.
Large animals. Look, first of all, if it's taller than like tummy height, I'm already iffy about it. Okay?
Which a peacock is not. It's just the feathers are tall.
I'm not particularly a fan of large dogs either. Like I love, like, don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh, look at the puppy, but stay the fuck away from me. But look at the puppy, right?
You've rehearsed that entirely too much to have the scenario ready that quickly.
It's just how I feel.
But we've seen a lot of content about how camels are dangerous for you, is what I'm trying to say.
Vindication.
But just know you can ride them and they like it. Are you ready?
I almost said something dirty. I'm ready. It would have been funny if I would have said
Let's do it. Play the freaking video.
Right, I'll just check the camera, yeah? Okay.
Why is he so close?
I hate this.
Right.
Is that real?
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, that's not real. Wait a minute.
I support that.
Wait a minute.
I support that.
Okay.
CGI. I was gonna say, get your lick back. Get your lick back, Simba.
I was having the same fat frog vibes. Remember that guy with that fat frog?
Oh my God, the fat frog.
The way she's looking at it just looks like that's not how you would look at a lion for real if it was dead in front of you.
You know, they say an average of 183,671 people are added to God's recently deleted folder every day.
Sure.
Some of those people retired from life in some of the most outrageous ways possible. For example, vending machines and coconuts sell more real estate in cemeteries than the headliner of Jaws.
That's unfortunate.
But what if a can of soda was responsible for ending your way of life without you ever even drinking it? Well, Richard Molesky was the owner of the Tulum Monkey Sanctuary in Mexico, and yes, a can of carbonated diabetes is why I said was. Chicago-born Molesky was a natural animal lover who worked at the sanctuary for well over a decade, where he would become close with a lot of the animals, but especially a male dromedary camel whose name was never released to the public. And every morning while doing rounds,
names have been changed to protect the innocent.
No. Redacted. They redacted his name.
Richard would greet the hum jockey with a can of Coca-Cola. Like clockwork, Richard would show up and the camel would enjoy his favorite soft drink. Well, one day Molesky didn't have it, and from the way the camel reacted, you would think we were talking about a different kind of Coke. The camel proceeded to maul him and even sat on him, which likely suffocated him. It took a rope tied to a pickup truck to pull the steroid llama off of him, but as you can guess, by the time they did, he was... well, a was. Of course we'll never know exactly what went down because it was between someone who can't talk and someone who won't. But there's a good chance a coked out camel can demand over some sugar water. And I believe it because Camel's 100% beyond that kind of timing.
And then he ate it.
He ate her hair.
He bit it off and then he ate it. That's petty.
vindictive as hell.
Ugly
Like, they'll
ass
chill
hair.
90% of the time.
Why
It's just
did he
that 10%
punch
when someone ends the day on a
him?
newspaper.
He's okay.
Like one time in Rajasthan, India, a man was entertaining guests in his home when he realized he parked his camel outside in a brutal 110-degree heat. That's 43 degrees Celsius for the rest of the world. Well, apparently 6 hours of sun only breeds homicidal intent, because as the man tried to untie the camel suplexed him and slammed him into the ground. The camel then proceeded to divorce the man's head from his body using his teeth.
That's not the correct use of the word divorce.
You know what? I'm gonna let that camel say whatever it wants.
Yeah, we're never getting divorced.
I'm gonna let.
Why won't you sign the papers? I know what comes next. One of my heads will be... This is like the mugshot version of the animal kingdom. They're like, bro, he was at so many professional events with a suit and tie. And this is the photo you show where his murderous intent and little dangly things.
Show them who he really is.
Anything with tendrils inside of its mouth.
Yeah.
Just trying to
it's
fuck
making
it.
me vastly.
That's why you don't beef with something that chews on cactuses like candy.
Did you just think I wasn't gonna hear you?
I just didn't think it would matter.
You didn't think it would matter? This is going on the internet.
It's only gross if you look at it. Don't you judge me, vagina fire. The people didn't forget.
Many years
we just
ago,
don't talk about it.
How many years ago was that?
The people didn't forget. We just don't talk about it.
I mean, the people probably did forget. You didn't forget. The people forgot and forgave.
Forgave? Come on
Jesus.
now.
Because some animals are very much capable of seeking revenge, and camels are very much on that list. Which shouldn't really be a surprise, since high intelligence means some animals have the capacity to experience every human emotion. Which includes putting the in vindictive. Even something like an ant can have as much of a revenge arc as a human. Kidnapping and slavery aren't foreign concepts to ants.
Nope.
Some species will regularly invade the nests of others, slaughter the workers, and
Yeah.
abduct the larvae of
Viking
them.
ants!
These captive ants are forced to bring food to their masters, care for the brood, and even defend the nest of the very ants that kidnap them. Well, in many cases, these slave ants grow up and proceed to destroy as many of the colony's babies as possible.
Dude, I'm loving the integration of the insect world here in this because I'm so interested. But just to be clear, it is not with the same range of emotion you would assume like a human has when an insect does it.
We don't know that, okay?
When you talk about drone-like movements, like they're doing that brutal shit, but they be like, everybody's cool with it, right?
Maybe that's just what the ants want us to think.
Then that
Maybe
did a great job.
They want us to think that, oh, they're too small. They don't actually have brains. Like,
I didn't say they didn't have
meanwhile,
brains.
They're planning to take over the world. Well, I mean, they literally don't.
But they have, I'm just saying they have vibes.
And I'm saying that's what they want you to think. You drank the ant Kool-Aid. I know what's really going on.
But you're not willing to just, concede that instead of thoughts, they're vibes.
Yeah, I said that already. But I'm also saying...
Okay, but wait a second. So to test the vibes, shouldn't we instead, to settle this debate, just make really little microphones and and drop them down the little ant hole and write a very little tiny script with a piece of napkin to go with it?
I think, okay, so we do that, right?
Yeah.
And then we hire the people who made it so that mushrooms can make music.
Oh, those are some freaking weirdos.
That
Yeah.
I was
those
going to
guys are
say
weird.
talented people.
Yeah, I mean, sure, talented,
Okay.
but weird.
And they get them to make it so that the ant vibrations make music like the mushroom vibrations
Oh,
did.
right. We just put the stakes in the ground, and then just like listen to see how much it feels.
I think this is a great plan.
This got just so out of bounds so fast, but I'm with it.
Pretty much they Django a daycare's worth of the pupae of the ants that stole them.
Oh my God. I want to hear it again.
Colonies babies as possible. Pretty much they Django a daycare's worth of the pupae of the ants that stole them.
Damn.
In some cases, up to 2/3 of the colony were relieved from life by the former slave ants.
Damn.
It's like I've always said, if ants had nukes, they'd end the entire world in a weekend.
I support slave revolts. Okay, that's it.
Oh, also I saw a video because we did the casualty graphic thing.
Yeah.
And then he talked about you can buy land in that one place. That possibly might be a scam, which we just kind of thought we were donating money to charity anyways. We didn't really think we were going to own the land. We just figured they were just giving us the deed and that's kind of it.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, somebody did some research online. They were offered the same thing. And after the research, it might be kind of scammy. So I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Unfortunate.
True.
If they were human-sized, our president would have 6 legs. And honestly, Ant Society is just a video of its own. We are talking about an animal that has a species that'll turn itself into a tactical just to stop the ops from succeeding. Ant Society is something out of a simulation. And with a game like the Ants Underground Kingdom, you get a chance to experience it firsthand without the added risk of kamikazing yourself. It's actually the world's first ant-themed strategy mobile game with millions of players already online.
As it should be.
You can hatch and raise your own ant army, including a class of special ants with special abilities. You're free to design and explore ant nests for your ant militia to live in. And when you're not doing that, you get the chance to show a lizard just what an affiliated ant army can do. Or to give a mantis an actual reason to start preying. And if you have a fear of spiders, then this game might be the best form of therapy you can get. And with the cold times on the come up, the Ants Underground Kingdom has just released a brand new winter version, Snowfall and all. This game was awarded the best game changer of 2021 by Google Play, and with stunning graphics and enticing gameplay, it's no mystery why. And as a special thank you for all the support they've received, the Ants Underground Kingdom will be opening up a Black Friday store from November 22nd to the 27th. It's only available once a year, so once it's gone, it's gone.
Damn,
so to see life through an ant's eyes, and to see just how screwed humanity would be if ants were in our weight class, make sure you download the Ants Underground Kingdom using the link in the description. And if you use my personal redeem code CASUALANTS, you'll receive 50 eggs which you can use to cop purple special ants and other neat prizes. Now, if one of those eggs happens to be stolen, it might be lights out for your entire kingdom, because ants don't play about theirs. Lots of animals don't. There's a lot of animals capable of premeditating and executing acts of revenge. Like you probably already know that crows can remember faces and carry grudges for up to and sometimes over 5 years.
Yes.
But they'll also pass down their prejudices to their children, so you could really catch a feathery fade over something you did to his crow father.
You know, one thing that I realized here with this, you could lie to me. You know, crow, raven, up close, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
The flip side is that crows also remember those who did right by them. So if I ever happen to get arrested, it'll likely be for using Wendy's fries to weaponize crows. But I'd advise you not to underestimate the carnage that comes with beefing with the Black Air Force of the sky. Once upon a time, a man named Shiva Kawat attempted to save a baby bird he found near his home. Despite his best efforts, the chick didn't make it. And even though his intentions were good, all the neighboring crows saw was a past tense baby crow in his hands, and that's when violence was selected. For the next 3 years, he'd get air jumped every time he left his house by a homicide of crows. Like to the point where he has scars and has to travel with a stick to protect himself against the aerial onslaught. So basically, if he would have let that baby crow expire, his quality of life would probably be higher. Exploration of life is the only conclusion when you beef with a buffalo. I'm gonna keep this brief because I've talked about them before, but basically the Cape Buffalo is a 1,200-pound John Wick. Not only will injured buffalo literally die trying to drag you down with him, just like crows, the Cape Buffalo will ride for theirs. In 2020, trophy hunter Claude Clayhans took down a massive male Cape Buffalo. But as he and his crew started loading the soul-evacuated buffalo onto his truck, another buffalo from the same herd pulled up and gored him, in the groin no less, which severed his femoral artery and sealed his fate. There have been reports of these trench cows chasing hunters into trees and then camping under the trees just waiting to cut them from birth. That's so funny.
I can't wait till you just wait till you get your ass down here.
I can't wait to be taking your penis out on the tip of my horn and then killing you through the blood loss. That's how the song went by Disney.
And then they're like, maybe this isn't family friendly. We should, we'll leave in the dad murder,
right,
and the fratricide,
sure,
and the vaguely incestuous relationship.
Ball torture.
We'll take the ball torture out.
God damn it.
Like I said, it's not just humans getting hunted. Since Cape Buffalo have been known to Uno reverse lions by waiting for the adults to go off on hunts just so they can turn the unsupervised lion cubs into wet. If elephants don't forget, then the Cape Menace doesn't forget. And you'd be surprised at just how many animals are smart enough to pay you what you're owed.
Okay.
Like, I bet you weren't expecting Octopus to be in a video
I was.
like this.
What?
Well, roll the tape.
Oh, is this the video of it? Yep.
Yeah.
Yup.
It turns out octopus and some fish will work together to hunt, and the Squidwards of the sea will occasionally uppercut their co-workers to keep them from cheating them out of food.
Right.
It's also believed that the octopi that have been exploited in the past are more trigger-happy with their tentacles.
Get out of here.
Of course, there's also a good chance that octopi might Tyson fish purely out of spite, but punishing someone for someone else's crime technically still counts as revenge.
So somebody showed this video, right, on Twitter.
Right.
And people were like, oh man, that fish didn't do nothing, blah, blah, blah. And I was the only one who took up for the octopus. Like, we need to hear the octopus's side. I think he's innocent.
Right. But the clip did show the fish was just living its little fishy life, and then he punched him in the face.
For the first time in my life, I was like, okay, but what's the context? Like, normally with those people, I'm like, you don't need to see but in this case, I need to know what happened beforehand. What happened in the 30 seconds before this?
That's a little gritty little guppy right there. Like, that guy does not respect boundaries. He just takes all the damn food. You know what I'm saying?
Justice for the octopus.
Also, cephalopods can be just as spiteful with each other. Like here, where a female octopus got tired of a male trying to mate with her, so she proceeded to throw silt in his face. And octopus are more than smart enough to aim their malice at...
She said, back up!
What's so funny is it doesn't even touch the fish around her.
Mate with her, so she proceeded to throw silt on his face. And octopus are more than smart enough to aim their malice at people.
I love it.
As researchers will tell you, sometimes octopus will purposely take aim and squirt ink at the very scientists study. Not only that, but they'll often have specific people that they like to pick on.
Upset.
One octopus in an aquarium in Dorset, England, got into the habit of super soaking anyone who would walk past his tank.
Wow.
Another octopus in a Santa Monica Pier aquarium flooded the place after she disassembled a valve in her tank, sending 200 gallons of water rushing onto the exhibit and office floors.
Wow.
And Otto the octopus flashed his middle finger to humanity when he squirted water on a nearby spotlight, short-circuiting the entire aquarium's electric.
Oh my God.
Workers would fix it in the morning, but since Otto would do it at night when no one was around, it took a while for him to be found out. And of course, there was that time a YouTuber tried to live stream herself eating an octopus, but the only thing he fed her was an L. So yeah, octopus have the intelligence to be on timing. But at least with them, the worst case is property damage or a suction cup to the face. Things get a lot worse when you piss off the next animal. Because tigers are by far the most vengeful animals on the planet.
Well, I mean, that's just
like the lengths they'll go to get even is what movies are written about. Like in 1997 when poacher Vladimir Markov shot a tiger and then stole part of its kill. His mistake was leaving the tiger with a pulse. That tiger would get him back, but it wasn't in the heat of passion like the camel. Nah, this John was premeditated. The tiger would stake out Markov's cabin and destroy anything that had the hunter's scent on it. About a day or two later, Markov would return to his cabin where he would be ambushed by the same big
He
That
waited.
story ended around the same time Markov did, after he was dragged into the bushes and never came out. In another story, a poacher named Baby got put in the dirt by a male tiger in March of 2016. Why is that date important? Well, only a month before, he had murked the female tiger in the same area, leading many to believe that the tiger that packed him up was actually the mate of the cat he had killed. And if you need more proof that a tiger taking it personal leads to cuts on the census, the tigress of Champawat literally subtracted 436 people after one hunter severely injured her.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Yes, queen.
Don't do that in my video. just leave
girl power with no I, just like a lot of R's.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's go back a time before that existed so I can enjoy the video.
Literally subtracted 436 people after one hunter.
Slay queen.
Honestly,
literally.
That's a gang of
literally,
bodies.
slay queen.
Anytime that you're thinking about if something is badass or not, think about how big of a pile of bodies it would leave. That's a mound. They're like, oh, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. There's 400 bodies on this molehill, George.
But don't think these stories only happen in Asia. On Christmas Day 2007 in the San Francisco Zoo, 3 men effed around and 2 found out. As for the third, well, you can't get a life lesson if you don't have a life. The 3 men had decided to taunt Tatiana, a 400-pound female Siberian tiger.
Why?
Well, they learned 2 things that day. One is that a motivated tiger can jump well over 12 feet. And 2, the 12.5-foot moat wall wasn't to keep the tiger in, but to keep people out. Because apparently, out was always an option for Tatiana, who Super Mario jumped out of the enclosure and put the beats on all 3 men, naming 2 of them and turning the third into a chalk outline. So yeah, a wild tiger might be the last animal you want to find out with in India.
What were they doing?
I want to know.
How do you taunt an animal that size from 12 feet away? What do you do? What are they doing?
Also, I don't like the phrasing. I don't like the phrasing of that headline.
What was it?
It was like escaped tiger kills visitor to San Francisco Zoo. Like, no, what did the visitor do?
A close second might be monkeys. Especially since monkeys and dogs have seemingly gone to war against each other. War is debatable because allegedly the monkeys massacred the dogs. According to residents, some monkeys even took to snatching puppies, carrying them up to a roof, and then letting gravity catch the body.
Oh my God. It's like the My Hero episode. She made those people float and then dropped them.
And if you believe this story, then you believe that this all started after a pack of stray dogs mauled a baby monkey and the monkey mafia took it very personal. But we actually don't know for sure what caused this mass puppy homicide. Primates will often feed on the ticks living on animals of different species. So it's possible the monkeys weren't trying to get revenge, but were only after the ticks on the dog's fur. But there's also a chance that Cloudy with a Chance of Puppy was 100% intentional, especially since that seems to be a signature move for them. Earlier this year in India, a troop of monkeys jumped a family and snatched their 4-month-old son, who they proceeded to throw off a 3-story building.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You can't drop real people death in here like that when it's so recent. Before he's like, yeah, 17 years ago, this one thing happened in a place you've never been to.
No.
Oh yeah, by the way, last year they just tossed a toddler.
Not the baby.
I'm saying, man.
In a separate attack, monkeys broke into a home and dragged away a 2-month-old who had been sleeping next to his grandfather.
Oh my
the
lord.
Same monkeys ended up drowning him in a water tank. Yeah, monkeys can be malicious when they want to be, but anyone in Japan will tell you that. Because right now, a Japanese city is currently under attack by a gang of Japanese macaques.
Ow, macaque.
Since July, nearly 60 people have been attacked and injured in the city of Yamaguchi, and the monkeys tend to go after babies, small children, and the elderly, you know, the light work of the population. And the thing is, traps they set aren't working because the monkeys don't seem to be after food. They're just doing it. And yeah, while this could be a coincidence, there's also a good chance this is revenge. See, monkeys and really primates in general have a sense of fairness and will lash out when they feel like they've been wronged. In experiments with capuchin monkeys, scientists found that when given unequal portions of food, the monkeys would seem to target and punish the individual that got the unfair share. It actually makes sense for a social animal to actively discourage inequity in the group. But when a monkey feels cheated, it becomes a much more dangerous monkey. In another experiment, one capuchin was given a grape while another was given a cucumber. Despite previously being happy with the cucumber, the monkey seemed to get offended when he saw his peer get a grape and refused to take the cucumber. He even started to become aggressive with his handlers, so yeah, primates don't like feeling slighted.
Damn.
If you don't believe me, jealousy and a birthday cake got this man mutilated by a pair of chimps. So I can't tell you exactly what started the monkey war in Japan, but I can tell you they probably have a reason. Speaking of reason, yeah, I kind of had to talk about it. So you probably know the story, but recap. An elephant traveled over 100 miles from a sanctuary and trampled a 70-year-old woman collecting water.
100 miles. Sure, it's an estimation. Maybe it's only 88.
And I would walk 100 miles.
To stomp your body at your own funeral.
More.
You know what I'm saying?
Only for that same elephant to show up to her funeral and further desecrate her corpse, and this time in front of her entire grieving family. Now, I know I say this a lot on this channel, it's become one of my popular phrases, but this time someone literally got turned into a hashtag. Now, a lot of people have claimed that this woman was involved in poaching, and this was just the elephant playing equalizer. I don't want to say that because we don't know for sure, and there's a good chance the woman was just at a worse place at an even worse time for the elephant to show up and turn into a trend. But here's what we do know. Asian elephants often come into close contact with people, especially farmers, and conflicts often get them injured or put on a shirt. We know Asian elephants often get exploited for logging, entertainment, and poaching, so they have a reason to hate anything human. And we know an elephant doesn't forget. And it wasn't too long ago when an elephant in Thailand ripped a grown man in half and stood over the soul evacuated body for hours after that same man forced him to haul logs in the intense heat.
Dude, this is just such an intense video. Like, he's throwing so much at us. He has done a good job, you know, when he revamped, kind of slowing it down, taking time. Every single one of these 10-minute sections or 3-minute sections could be its own 10-minute video.
Absolutely.
So we know elephants ain't quick to forgive either. So with this story, we'll never know for sure if there was cause or coincidence, but let me put it this way. 100 miles and a guest appearance at a funeral is one hell of a coincidence. But that's gonna do it for this video. For more consistent content, be sure to follow my TikTok and Instagram. I try to post daily.
You got it.
And to watch videos before I post them, kindly consider becoming a patron on Patreon.
Damn. Man.
I support the elephant. The elephant did nothing wrong. I don't know what that lady did, but
and I like with that one because I saw a video he posted on TikTok kind of mentioning that he really doesn't like saying like, okay, look, you know, somebody really died. Like, he doesn't really want to be like, because he has no idea. Nobody has any idea.
Yeah.
So he made that very clear, but just being like, but that is just over fucking whelming.
Yeah.
You got to be careful when you just see a small clip or hear a small story, really creating the rest of it yourself. That always is a problem. Now, I do it because I think it's hilarious, but you should not do it if you really believe in it. I have no stake in a lot of the things that I say if they're jokes, you know, so feel free to make a joke. There's no stake in it. And when somebody says a real make sensible thing, you let it make some sense. That's really my only standard for a joke making. And that's why I like Casual Geographic, because it seems like he makes light of people's death by animal, but a lot of the time he really sets up like, this person's a straight up poacher. Yeah. Like, sure, he's dead. That's really sad, but like, I don't know, he's poaching animals. What do you think happens when you go in the wild and you kill wild things? They're used to being hunted, bro. You're not the first. Anyways, thanks for joining for this horrific yet entertaining video. My wife was smiling the entire time. I'm concerned with her. And if you find a slay queen, check the amount of bodies first before you poke fun.
Because it's December. Slay queen.
Slay. I'll see you guys around. You don't even have to be here for this part. That's fine.